What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Art Shack. So last video, I talked a little bit about different blending supplies and things like that you can actually use. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take a drawing, in this case I drew some clouds, and just take something like this and just use a blending stump and really clean things up. If you haven't checked out my last video on the basics of different blending stumps and how they generally perform, you can click anywhere in here and it'll take you back to that video. But for those of you that want to stick around and check out this one, I'm going to show you some basic ways to take this scene, which is just basically cross-hatching, and turn it into a scene that is much more polished. And my plan is to just mainly use the blending stump, but I may have to go in there with an eraser and a pencil here and there. So the basic element of this is I have a large cloud up here, another one over here, and then down here I have a bunch of little clouds kind of doing their thing. So to start off, I want to really blend out where I have applied some pencil or heavy pencil shading. So all in here I want to blend. Now for those of you that may want to draw along with me with this, basically all I did is to get to where I am is to draw a light outline with some pencil. As you can see, I have some pencil marks here and there, and then wherever you don't have pencil marks, just fill in with some graphite, and that's pretty much where I am right here. And just also keep in mind that the top of the sky tends to be darker than the bottom of the sky, so that's why everything up here is really dark, and that's why everything down here is sort of light. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so I'll continue with my blending, and I'm blending in circular motions. It helps to really smooth everything out. And what I also like to do is on the bottoms of the clouds, carry up that blend and just kind of darken everything that's on the bottoms of these. This is just one of the methods that I like to do with drawing my clouds. For me, I really enjoy the way this looks. I just want to blend that area out right there. I will probably end up having to use an eraser. It's a pretty heavy part of my process, so I probably will get into that. But I just want to try and blend everything out. And I like to make my skies very dark because it builds a lot of contrast and puts a lot of interest into the sky. Pretty much anywhere where I have some pencil marks, I'm going to typically try and blend and soften them. And because the blending stump already has some graphite on it, it easily will blend out any lines that I have on this drawing. I'll even go up in here and soften those out a little bit. But you can already see how the blending stump has already made the sky completely smooth, for the most part. There's still a little bit of texture involved, but it's really cleaning a lot of things up. Then down here, there's a lot of little clouds kind of going into the horizon. So down here, because everything is starting to be foreshortened because it's going further and further in the background, I'm not doing my clockwise or counterclockwise shading motion. I'm just kind of going horizontally because I still want to create some horizontal texture here. I'll just get those sides in, just kind of fill everything in. Alright, so at this stage is typically where I will need my eraser. Just want to blend this a little bit. Alright, so with a kneaded eraser, this is probably the best eraser to use for this. I want to create a flat rounded section, sort of like that. And then what I'll typically do is on the tops of these where the white meets the dark graphite, I will press and twist. That's typically all I'll do. And I'll rotate the graphite or not the graphite, but the eraser, so that way all this graphite that's actually on the kneaded eraser won't transfer back onto it again. I'll also do a little bit down here. Let's do a little bit up here as well. This helps to create fluffy clouds. That's typically what I like to draw. So nice fluffy clouds. And then down here, I'll just take this and just sort of erase in a horizontal fashion, just to create the illusion that there might be some more clouds lingering way down here. Alright, and then from here, it's just about fine-tuning. So I like to use my Tough Stuff eraser stick. If you have a pink pearl eraser, the edge on there will work very well. So with this, I like to go in and just kind of fine-tune everything. Just make little details here and there. And you can see that's starting to come to life here. So with the kneaded eraser, it doesn't pick up everything, so that's why I use this one. And I don't like to erase that whole area out that the kneaded eraser took out, because it kind of creates this wispy effect. So for me, I find that to be very desirable. I really enjoy that look. Mainly with this eraser, I like to just create little details, little clouds that are kind of floating into nothing. So it really helps to create the illusion that these clouds are moving on the page, which of course they really aren't. So I also want to go into some of this blending that I did, just to kind of break it up a little bit. And of course you can also grab the blend, I get my terminology wrong, get your kneaded eraser out again and just kind of work that as well. And it's always nice to have a fan brush around, so you can just kind of clean off any eraser shavings that might be around. Alright, so let's go into this one a bit and just kind of clean this thing up just a tad. And for down the bottom of this, I just want to kind of blend this a little bit. Just kind of clean that up. And then to finish it up, I'd like to just kind of add in little things down here, more towards the horizon line. But I don't want to get too carried away. But that's pretty much the power of a blending stump in a nutshell, of course with the use of some erasers as well. So it's more about the combination of different materials rather than the power of just one. But the blending stump overall is a very, very powerful tool. What it does very well is it takes away a lot of the texture. From the sky, I had a lot of texture from the cross hatching. It takes away a lot of that, so it creates a nice smooth area to really work with. So you got to keep that in mind. So a blending stump is very powerful, but it also takes away any detail that you add in. So you want to use it sparingly, and a sparse use of it will make a very powerful image. So there's a lot of detail and contrast within this cloud that really stands out well against that sky. So I hope you all enjoyed this one, and leave a comment below what you thought. If you found it useful, that's always great. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Take care.